Today I'm inspired to talk to you about the forward bend. I think the dreaded forward bend. Because most of us, when we go forward, feel a tightness in our lower back, and it's scary. And we think that we could do damage to ourselves, and maybe you could do damage to yourselves. That's why you have to think for yourself and take the steps needed to ensure your safety and your well-being as you discover your forward bend. So first of all, I've learned that the pelvic needs to adjust, to shift, in order for the forward bend to be successful. A lot of times people walk around with their pelvic tucked in and their shoulders rounded forward and their bellies out. I like the belly out thing. I really think it's good for us to open the belly and breathe into the belly, but the rest of this doesn't work when you're walking, okay? So you really need to learn how to tuck and tilt your pelvic first in order to understand how to do the forward bend. So let's come into a standing straddle, a little bit greater than shoulder width apart, and I want you to tuck and tilt, and tuck and tilt. And you'll see that as I do this, my chest goes back and my chest goes forward. My chest goes back and my chest goes forward. But you can concentrate solely on the lower body and try to keep the upper body still. And maybe you don't even try, it just doesn't move yet. It's not natural for you. And as you tuck, make sure you exhale, and as you tilt, make sure you inhale. And if you're one who likes to do the full opening and closing like a standing cow and cat, you can do that. You can feel into what works right now currently in a natural way, and then you can kind of move into what feels unnatural, maybe slightly uncomfortable, but again, think for yourself. You are a powerful, divine being. So as you do this, you're realizing inhaling, pelvic is tilted forward, exhaling, pelvic is tilted back. And you adjust and you feel comfortable. Now let's do a couple body rolls, okay? So we're gonna take now the chest forward, chin out, inhale. And exhale, roll up. And again, inhale. And exhale. We're breathing through our nose as the nose helps to filter the breath and deepen the breath. Exhale, increasing vitality. And again, inhale. And exhale. So you should now have an understanding of your pelvic area. So we're going to stand with the feet underneath us. When I started doing yoga, I was really tight. I had a lot of pain in my body. I had a lot of injuries. I had a lot of energy and motion that was going upstream. And when I discovered the power of the mind connecting with the body and allowing the spirit to just be in the moment, I realized I didn't have to stay there. Okay, so my first forward bend in my life that I remember compared to where I am now, totally different, totally different. So allow yourself to take your feet wider if you need to, and to bend your knees. In fact, let's all do that because all the levels are good. Slowly now, with the knees bent, I want you to stick your butt out, tilt your pelvic forward, and lengthen through your spine. From the side, it looks like this, okay? From the back, it looks like this. Now, what happens if your pelvic is not tilted forward and it's tucked? You're gonna try to go into a forward bend and it's gonna look like this and it's gonna feel even worse probably than it looks. And you're not gonna understand how to get down there. And you're gonna try to straighten your legs and you're gonna look like this. And you can tell that my butt is tucked under and my cheeks are not open. That is not good. So as you're here, open the butt cheeks and wag your tail. Give yourself a little bit of motion, chi energy. It looks like this, open. It looks like this, open. Now, if that feels safe, you can straighten a little bit more through the legs and or fold forward. Taking deep breaths, just let go and allow. Your first forward bend is not gonna feel as good as your last forward bend. You're still warming up. So you can bend through the knees and you can roll up. And you can do this a couple times. You can inhale your arms up. You can exhale, swan dive forward and flex through your legs and see as your tail wags a little bit and opens up where you're at. Positioning your energy more through the balls of your feet and trusting. And then if you get to that point where you're like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore, you can bend through your knees and you can roll on up. And that's like doing a little cat stretch. Inhaling up, exhale, swan dive forward. Those feet may begin to walk underneath you. Now, because this wall is here, I want to show you. Doing the forward bends on the wall can be so helpful. You can adjust yourself, walk your feet out a little bit farther than the wall, maybe a foot out, and you can place your hands on your thighs around the knee space and open your butt against the wall and push into the wall and let yourself go here. Just let your shoulders release. And then you can use the wall to roll up against, and that can really help support you, especially if you have issues with vertigo. So from the side, if you are looking at yourself in the mirror, you want to make sure your back stays flat. So I'm standing with my pelvic in neutral position, but then I grab through my inner thighs to my toes, and I open into a forward fold. And it feels really yummy and delicious to stay here and lengthen through the heart as the heart starts to unlock and the neck and the shoulders start to unlock. And then